Ah, New Zealand. God's own. Probably the best place ever made. The perfect holiday destination. But that's not what everyone thinks. Some people would never cross the ditch in a million years.
Let me out! Oh no!
We call them the Kiwi Sceptics.
I think I'm much more drawn to the old world. I think I always have been. I've always had this thing within me ever since I was a child of loving places of history.
Jodie is a lover of fine things, sophisticated and cultured, a complete and utter Europhile.
Perfetto, Aldo.
She's never visited New Zealand. She thinks it lacks culture.
For me to travel to a new world country, there's just simply not enough interest. I feel...
Okay, whatevers. So how are we going to change her mind? I know, let's tell her we're taking her to Europe and take her to New Zealand instead.
Wow, okay. To get my head around it.
That's a great impression of a happy person. First stop, Christchurch, the gateway to the South Island. This is Dr. Lyndon Fraser. He's our local European expert with a PhD in history and a man who shampoos.
Around Queenstown, Central Otago, there are a lot of wines there. So the Pinot Noir from down there is fantastic.
Really? Because I love Pinots.
For the next few days, he'll be Jodie's guide. And their first stop is the Otahuna Lodge.
Oh my God, that is outrageous. This is about the size of my house back home.
Yes, we've got plenty of space in New Zealand. You laughing at that comment? So, what does Jodie think of New Zealand so far?
I don't think I got the full experience out of it. Like for me, in being in a place, it's about finding other dimensions to it. So I kind of want to get a different sense of where I am or what this place is about.
Right, she's looking for different dimensions, you see. Well, then let's show Jodie another side of the South Island. A bit of culture, New Zealand style. It's time for Jodie to meet New Zealand.
Hi.
What better way to say hello than in a helicopter?
Oh, that's yours there.
That's me doing the helicopter sound there.
Darling, darling.
It's almost like the environment, the landscapes are as much big figures in New Zealand history as the people. So they've shaped us probably more than we've shaped the landscapes and the environment.
Putting in the window pane.
I've never actually ever seen any biceps.
Darling, darling, when are you...
After a morning of awe-inspiring views, our pair set out in search of the fruits of Mother Nature's loin, wine. And Central Otago does it like no other place on earth. Once upon a time, pioneers prospected these hills for gold. Now they grow Pinot grapes. They cared bugger all for the law then, and cared little for the rules of the wine world today. It was a myth that good Pinot did not grow outside Burgundy. They gave that the big two fingers. Well, hey!
In the autumn, when the flavours are starting to come up, you get those really cool nights, and then you can get an intensively hot day.
Yeah.
And it's that huge diurnal range that gives Central Otago Pinot that taste.
The following morning, it's another superb day in Queenstown, and Jodie and Lyndon set off from the Matakari Lodge to discover more of the real New Zealand. Today they are going local and quirky, something New Zealand does very well. They start at the Lake Hayes A&P show. Man baking, vegetable animals, beer making, show jumping. The Kiwi A&P show has it all, even mutton bird cupcakes. I'll let these country folk explain what mutton bird is.
It's a delicacy, and it's a little bit much for a lot of people. It comes from islands at the bottom of the South Island. It has a nest, a burrow in the ground, and it lays its eggs. The eggs hatch, and then certain tribes have the right to go and harvest those.
So it's a very salty bird.
It's a salty, fishy bird. Some people think it's an acquired taste. I love it.
I love it too.
I think they might be making that up. It's Jodie's last night. And this little lamb's last night too. Well, at least he ended it in a nice place. Jodie's mouth.
Which, no, this is exactly how I love a meal to be.
The night ends with a glass of wine at the Pinot pit. Lyndon, being the courteous man he is, offers Jodie a glass of French Pinot. But she takes the local drop.
Oh, that's great. That's beautiful.
2 fingers, Burgundy. 2 fingers.
Yeah, I came here looking for a European experience in New Zealand, and instead I've actually discovered, for me personally, that New Zealand offers something incredibly different, but it feels just as wonderful as being in Europe for me.
Well, there we have it. New Zealand, the Europe of the South Pacific. Arrivederci.